Cigars International Legends. Badger Estate. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Cigar Vlog. Okay, so this one kind of pulled a little bit of a fast one on me. I thought that this was just going to be like, a normal, like, Drew Estate, more traditional cigar. No, this is CI Legends, which means it goes by what brought Drew Estate to fruition, which was their infused line. So, yeah, it's an infused cigar. Doesn't tell you it's an infused cigar, and it's liable to trick you into putting it in with the rest of your stash. You have to store infused cigars like this in a separate humidor, otherwise everything will taste like potpourri. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into this. I think I'm going to see about getting a punch cut on this, because it is a little small. And being a Lancerto size, punch cut is not entirely inappropriate. I'd say these bands are really super slick and loose on here. Okay, there we go. Be nice if the camera would actually focus on the objective instead of the grass. Okay. Okay, 1 second to get my equipment squared away here. That makes for a hard plug. It's kind of difficult to put that back in. Okay, now as you can see here, we've got a nice shaggy foot here. So, supposedly this should end up aiding the lighting process. Because all you have to do is just scorch this. I've got to clean my lighter out. Okay, so far, so good. Ooh, boy, that first puff with that full scorch in there. Ooh, that kind of tastes like when you just light an incense stick. You get that kind of incense kind of smell, but also that certain burnt. Okay, I think I got a decent light on it. First thing you notice straight away is the infusion, 100%, because it's all over your lips. Yeah, this is kind of giving me some Asian gift store vibes, not gonna lie. Well, I'm gonna get out of the wind, get this down to the first inch, and hopefully it'll start tasting like Drew Estate instead of like crappy incense. Okay, pretty decent good starter here. Quite anxious out. So far, yeah, all you taste is the infusion. Infusion has several different spice flavorings going on. I want to say it's similar to, like, say, the Kuba Kuba, if you ever had one of those. That said, I couldn't actually pick out individual notes because there's just so much stuff in the infusion. It's so sweet. Draw, this one is a little snug, and I think it's just this one, because I had another one before this one was just fine. But overall, you really don't actually get the tobacco flavor. Yeah, the only thing you really taste is the infusion. I want to say every so often you can kind of maybe get a hit of tobacco along the wind, but yeah, by and large, this thing about the acid line, you really don't taste the tobacco too much until you're like almost at the end. So we're gonna get this down. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more tobacco flavor and a little bit less infusion by the halfway point. I'm kind of not crossing my fingers for that, but by the time we get to the nub, we should start actually getting the tobacco. Well, hopefully we'll have gotten it before then, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get back to the halfway point. Okay, getting down to the halfway point. getting a couple of odd burn issues. And I'm thinking because the shaggy foot at the end, I'm thinking that is kind of one of the biggest culprits of that one. It kind of doesn't allow you to really light particularly effectively. You can get it lit just fine, but you have to be real careful with shaggy foot like that, just because of the fact that you got loose tobacco at the end. That's going to burn first, and then you're going to get to your actual filler tobacco. But otherwise, draw is fine. Couple of touch-ups, not that big of a deal. A little bit of an annoyance, but the main thing is the flavor. The flavor is infusion. That's it. Just that sweet potpourri with occasionally you get kind of like that kind of bready graham cracker note in the background. And I think that's the tobacco trying to shine through. If you're into infusion cigars, it's fine. Infusions are good every once in a while. And honestly, I think they're kind of a good gateway if you're going from, like, say, a vape to trying to get into actual cigars. It's kind of that bridge because you've got that really super sweet herbal botanical just melange of shit. And it's not until way later in the cigar that you actually start getting any tobacco notes. Infusion cigars are great for a first timer, and like I said, gateway from vapes. But other than that, if you're not into real heavy infusion cigars and you want to taste the tobacco, this is probably not going to be your stick. Anyway, I'm going to get this down in the nub and see if we actually get some tobacco flavor out of this. Okay, we're done with the nub, and I give it points for consistency. It tastes like that infusion the whole way through. It doesn't taste like anything but the infusion. As far as tobacco flavors, may as well just roll up a brown paper bag, stick it in botanical oils, and start puffing away. All you taste on this is that sweet infusion, and that's it. If you like infused cigars, this will be right up your alley. If you like regular cigars, you're probably going to want to avoid this, just because of the fact that, like I said, there's nothing but the infusion. Light-wise, the way it's burning, it kind of wants to tunnel, and I'm thinking that may have something to do with that shaggy foot. But a little touch-up here and there, not a big deal. Annoying, but not the end of the world. Yeah. It's just nothing but infusion. Even if you could get the tobacco notes by the end, your mouth is just so coated with infusion oils that you can't taste anything else. So, like I said, if you like infused cigars, definitely worth a shot. If you like anything else, maybe pass on this one. Overall, though, good for a first timer, good for somebody transitioning from like a vape. Drink pairings, kind of doesn't matter. Pair with Mountain Dew. Same difference. I can't think of anything much else to say about it other than, you know, it's an infused cigar and that's all you taste is the infusion. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. Infusion, infusion, infusion. That's it. Anywho, if you like this review or any other review, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you've had a different experience. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got to say about this one. I'll see you next time.